All right, Shalom Israel. I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to Lek out there doing this work of faith and labor of love and true sincerity. I just want to get into a quick topic, basically entitled Tributary, Building the Kingdom Inside the Kingdom. All right. This is based off of, the current statements in which General Yohana made, basically about us building a kingdom within, this society. Just roughly paraphrasing the statements of what he said. But that's ultimately what he tried to say. You know that we are going to have pretty much a kingdom within America. When in general, you know, as it gets into Baruch, the fourth chapter, the Most High sold us to the nations not for our destruction, but because we moved the Most High to wrath, was we sold unto the nations. Okay, so America wasn't set up for us to have a kingdom here. Okay, this was set up for us to learn, from our rebellious ways and to come back unto the Heavenly Father. Okay, and a guy making a statement like that just shows you that he lacks faith in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Okay, that's why we here at Great Millstone, we push that this thing is all about faith, man. Because that's what it all boils down to in the end. But when you lack faith, you look more forward towards the substance and the things of this life that pertain unto this life, which is mainly money, man. Okay, making money your God. All right. So real quick, this is the definition tributary. Salaki, I'm a little stuffy nose and all that, Akim. But it's the word tributary, and it says number two, a person or state that pays tribute to another state or ruler. Okay, so here in Babylon the Great, all right, what we are tributaries unto Esau. Everything in which we do, something has to go back out unto our oppressor. Okay, whether it's if it's literal taxes out of our check, okay, whether if you're paying rent or if you're paying a mortgage, so on and so forth. We're tributaries, man. Okay, so there's no way that you can truly be a king or truly be a ruler in another man's society. All right. So real quick, I'll give an example in the book of Judges, chapter 1, verse 27. Neither did Manasseh drive out the inhabitants of Bethshean and her towns, nor Tanakh and her towns, nor the inhabitants of Dor and her towns, nor the inhabitants of Ibleen and her towns, nor the inhabitants of Megiddo and her towns, but the Canaanites would dwell in that land. And it came to pass, when Israel was strong, that they put the Canaanites to tribute and did not utterly drive them out. Okay, so as we got into the definition, it's basically one nation paying homage or kicking out something to the nation that's ruling over them. So in these times, when the Most High told us to go in these lands, he told us to ultimately slaughter off all the nations. But Israel didn't do so, and therefore wound up putting these different Hamitic tribes, okay, underneath being a tributary, them paying tribute unto us, and like within any other society that you would have in those times, you have another people living within your borders. You're allowing them what they have to kick something up to you, just for them to live, okay, just for them to be all right, or else what you will run them out of there, out of your place because you have the strength over them, man. That's the way that these things go. Or how can you have complete rulership or build a kingdom within a kingdom where if Esau goes to war and he wants to call a draft and you get picked for that draft, either you have to go to war or you got to go to jail for not going to that draft. So that shows you don't have complete control over anything, man. To say that you're going to build a kingdom within someone else's kingdom, man. Okay? You're only given the privilege, man. That's all it is. Like a driver license is having the privilege. like being able to drive a car. All of these things are privileges, man. We're given privileges, okay, to live within the society, but people take that for something more than what it truly is, man. Okay? I don't want to have a so-called rule underneath another man's kingdom, man, because that's not mine. That's not something that I can pass on to my children and so on and so forth, man. You know? Okay, so I want to get into another quick example which exactly show what I was just talking about, you know? And there's examples in the book of Jeremiah, the 52nd chapter, with King Zedekiah, all right? So it's Jeremiah 52:1. Zedekiah was 121 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 11 years in Jerusalem. And his mother's name was Hamutal, the daughter of Jeremiah of Libnah. And he did that which was evil in the eyes of the Lord, according to all that Joachim had done. For through the anger of the Lord it came to pass in Jerusalem and Judah, till he had cast them out from his presence, that Zedekiah rebelled against the king of Babylon. Because what? The Babylonians were over us, okay? Even though what? We still had our kings, okay? But what? You had another king of another nation that was over you, okay? So he didn't have complete rulership, all right? Yeah, so Zedekiah what? Rebelled against the king of Babylon. Okay? Because what? Before what? He was falling in line, but then what? He wound up rebelling against his oppressor. Okay? That he was a tributary unto. All right? And it came to pass in the 9th year of his reign, in the 10th month, in the 10th day of the month, that Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, came, he and all his army, against Jerusalem, and pitched against it, and built forts against it round about. So what? Oh, my bad. I read verse 5. So the city was besieged unto the 11th year of King Zedekiah. So what? They sieged the city. Like you have what? The movie with Denzel Washington, The Siege. Okay? They shut off the city, man. From the 9th year of his reign to the 11th year of his reign, man. Okay? They had guards against the city. They had an army round about the city, man. Okay? Basically a martial law, if you will, you know? So verse 6. And in the 4th month, in the 9th day of the month, the famine was sore in the city, so that there was no bread for the people of the land. Then the city was broken up, and all the men of war fled and went forth out of the city by night by the way of the gate between the two walls, which was by the king's garden. Now the Chaldeans were by the city round about, and they went by their way of the plain. Okay, so if it's to a point where there's no bread, there's no food within your city, within your land, and you have another people up against you that's stopping you from going out and go get food, then what do you call that, man? Can you truly say that can you rightfully say that you're a king? Even though King Zedekiah, he was a king, but can you truly say that you're a king, that you have complete dominion over the place and where you resting your head at every day, man? Can you completely say that? No, we can't say that here in Babylon, man. Okay? So going on, verse 8. But the army of the Chaldeans pursued after the king and overtook Zedekiah in the plains of Jericho, and all his army was scattered from him. Okay? They took the king and carried him up unto the king of Babylon to Riblah in the land of Hamath, where he gave judgment upon him. And the king of Babylon slew the sons of Zedekiah before his eyes. He slew also the princes of Judah in Riblah. Then he put out the eyes of Zedekiah, and the king of Babylon bound him in chains and carried him to Babylon and put him in prison to the day of his death. So if Zedekiah was a king in his own right, then how was these things allowed to happen? Okay? How was these things allowed to happen? What? Because they had a weaker army, okay? Babylon was the top rulers at that time, okay? Because what? It was prophesied, in earlier, by the Lord, that what? Babylon would be ruling for a certain period of time, and all the other nations would be underneath them and would have to serve the king of Babylon. Okay? And then the Lord said, what? And afterwards, then I will punish Babylon for their iniquities, man. Okay? That's why it goes into what? Daniel's the second chapter where it said the Lord removed kings and he set up kings. So the Lord rightfully set up, Nebuchadnezzar of Babylon to be the king over all the other nations at this point in time, so that the other nations would have to pay homage unto them or be utterly destroyed. And this is the exact same thing that happened here with Zedekiah, because what? He rebelled against the king of Babylon, okay, which wasn't in the Most High's program. So that's how it is today. If you call yourself trying to rebel up against Esau, what? You are going to be destroyed and your whole house is going to be destroyed. Okay? We have many examples to show within our history, within the scriptures, and within history that has happened since we've been here in Babylon, that there's no way that we can live it up here or truly be kings here in America. Black Wall Street is always the prime example, man. Any other so-called a black movement where Israelites tried to rise up against the so-called white man or to try to set up our own governments, our own institutions, so on and so forth, they always got shut down, man. Okay? So, I just wanted to bring this out real quick just because it's an idiotic statement, and which General Yohana made, and which goes to show, that he's leading his flock astray, man. He's having them in the right mindset and not building them up for the hedge of the battle with that great day, And that's why, us brothers through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shah, that follow the men of great millstone through the spirit of the Lord, that we are to be grateful that the Lord have us in the right mindset to be in, man, and to see things for what it is, because we're living in a time of prophecy, not a time to live it up here in Babylon, man, So, with that, I just wanted to bring out this quick lesson. I hope this was edifying, to your elect brothers out there. And I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. And shalom to elect out there doing this work of faith and labor of love and true sincerity. Shalom and death to America.